Yo, listen up. Stop what you're doing because this might be the most important update you're going to hear all quarter. Goldman Sachs just went on record saying three Fed rate cuts this year. You know what that means. Liquidity floodgates opening. And when liquidity comes back, crypto is always first in line, but it doesn't stop there. XRP is sitting right in its macro range. The chart's telling a story most people aren't reading right. If you know the key levels, you'll see exactly how this setups the next move. And here's the real kicker. It's not just charts or the macro headlines. XRP, XLM, Algorand, these aren't just tokens anymore. They're being carved out as the rails of government-aligned liquidity, the future of banking 2.0. Stick with me, because when we tie these pieces together, it paints a picture that most retail investors won't see until it's too late. Welcome back to the Bullwinkle Blueprint. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 50K by the end of the year. You know what they did on my first channel? Well, let's get this one in the exact same spot, but make it 10 times better, folks. And make sure you hit that thumbs up. The more people that hit that thumbs up, the more the more opportunity we have to go viral. It's free and it is the ultimate way to support the channel. If you're looking to become a channel member, why not? Hit that join button below every single video. Now, without further ado, kick up those feet and crank up the volume. Bitcoin, not looking good. $115,065. Ethereum coming in at $4,261. And XRP, yeah, buddy, coming in at $2.97. All of this in the meantime as the total cryptocurrency market cap stays above $4 trillion. We showed you this in the first video of the day. This is your legend. This is your key moving forward to know exactly where the markets are heading. September, aka Rectember. If you didn't listen to today's first video, go give it a listen. And then come back and listen to this because you're going to understand exactly where we are taking this. All in the meantime, during this dip, we've come to find out that Thailand has launched a program for tourists to convert their crypto directly into the Thai baht. No USD needed. Bring your crypto and spend with ease in one of the world's top travel destinations. You're going to see this more frequently as we move forward and as we move to this new era of money. And then a Dutch public company, Index, well, they just announced their plans to buy 1% of the total Bitcoin supply. Folks, 1% of the total Bitcoin supply. Are you kidding me? That's massive. And then Goldman Sachs drops a bombshell. 3 rate cuts this year. I want you to think about what this actually means. Interest rates are like oxygen for financial markets. When the Fed hikes rates, they're choking liquidity. Everything slows down, credit tightens, and risky assets, they take the hit. But when they cut, that's like pumping oxygen back into the system. Stocks rally, the housing market heats up, and crypto, well, crypto doesn't just benefit, it explodes. Now here's where it gets interesting, because this isn't just one rate cut. Goldman expects 3 this year. That's not easing. That's a freaking pivot, everyone. And every single time the Fed pivots, well, markets don't just drift higher, they rip. So while the mainstream media talks about soft landings and gradual easing, smart money knows what the real rally is. It's the setup for Q4 fireworks. Liquidity is fuel, and crypto is the fastest horse in the race. If you've been waiting for that macro trigger, well, guess what? That's it. And talking about macro triggers, let's zoom in on XRP's macro range by eGrad Crypto, because the chart is telling us everything we need to know. Right now, XRP is moving inside a macro band between 265 and 365. And we showed you the chart in the first video. We'll show you a little TA analysis right here. You can see the bottom of this first zone. We got it right around 265, folks. Exactly where eGrod's range is lining up. So this dollar range for XRP, where we're just bouncing between, we're just bouncing off the walls here. Well, that's your playground. But the key here is reading the signals inside of the zone. So here's what's happening. If XRP closes below 290 on a 4-hour full body candle, we could be confirming a 5-wave structure that points towards 265. That's your near-term downside risk. But, and this is the big but, reclaiming $3, it flips the script entirely. Why? Because above 3, the doors start unlocking. 313 is a milestone. 320 gives you confidence. 345 breaks, and suddenly you're not just in the bullish territory. No, oh no. You're staring at the setup for a new all-time high. And when 366 breaks, you know, the line that everyone's watching, you better strap in and get that moon helmet on. This is what macro trading is all about. It's all about respecting risk levels, but keeping your eye on the bigger picture. The market is setting traps. Don't fall for the trap, folks. But their macro setup, the structure, it's still bullish. If those higher levels prices fall into place here. So don't get lost in the noise. Stay disciplined. Because the breakout signals, they are already on board. And then we get this little clip. Mark Moss, never heard of him, but listen to this. Another Bitcoin maxi.
Part of this evolution that we have institutional money and it's looking for the way to get in. It also wanted more volatility on Bitcoin, which is what the altcoins were. Mm-hmm. And so it sort of sucked all of that out of the space. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I've seen. Is that kind of what you're saying or what you're saying?
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. We really don't sell against like Cardano and Ethereum and Ripple anymore at all. It just doesn't even come up.
Yeah. Cardano, Charles Hoskin finally found the only real use case for Cardano.
Selling it for Bitcoin.
Selling it for Bitcoin. He finally found.
We got these clowns taking shots. They're clueless, like the rest of them. But here's the biggest story. The bigger story is right here, and it's called the evolution of money. Because it's picking its winners. Smoke put this out, a freaking fire, piece, bomb, whatever you want to call it. Right now, a distant category of digital assets, it's being carved out. But they're not telling you, right? You got to really dig for this info. Assets aligned with governments and financial institutions, specifically mentioned in here, XRP, XLM, and Algorand. These aren't just coins that are trading on an exchange. They're being positioned as being systemically important infrastructure. Think about that for a second. These networks are optimized for liquidity provision, high throughput settlement, and interoperability within the existing financial system. That's not an accident. This is all by design. Governments don't want memes or volatility. They want rails they can trust to move trillions of dollars. This is the invertible evolution of money. From gold standards to fiat, and now from fiat to blockchain-based settlement. Each shift solves a limitation of the old system, and each shift felt impossible until it was suddenly reality. And XRP, it's not just part of the conversation, it's leading it. These government-aligned networks that you're seeing here are the backbone of banking 2.0. And if you're early, you're not just speculating on price, you're positioning yourself for the future plumbing of the global economy. They have everything lined up. They have it all lined out. A little bit of research, and you find out what is actually going on. And you move from that speculation phase to knowing what the future holds. Let's tie it all together though, because we got Goldman calling for 3 rate cuts. We got the liquidity tide is starting to turn. XRP's chart is locked into a macro range with clear levels that will either trap or unleash the next rally. And beyond the short-term moves, XRP, XLM, and Algorand are all being slotted into the role of infrastructure. The government aligns itself. They're labeling these assets to be important assets of the future, and they are being designed to be used for the new era of money. The lesson here, well, don't just chase candles. See the bigger picture. Liquidity, technicals, infrastructure, they are all converging right now. That is the perfect storm. Don't be distracted by the chart and by the red. Focus on the bigger picture here. Zoom out. Because when the history books are written about this moment, the moment that we are in right now, you're either going to be the person who started all coming together, or you're going to be the one who said, I wished I'd have paid attention. The choice is yours, folks. And I'm going to leave it right there. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out. Hit that join button if you want to become a channel member and go ad free. I'll be back. I'll catch all y'all on the next one.